me.
For the biggest news
Mm.
of this podcast for this week, basically
This is massive, guys.
it's like the best news you could ever hear. I'm just gonna, I won't waste no more time. Fable 4
Okay.
was talked about by Phil Spencer, and he said it's in good hands. So let's dive into this. All right, so in good hands, like what does he mean? And is it big hands? Is it like we're talking 4K ray tracing, 60 frames per second? Like, yeah, like are the hands like super detailed where you can see all the wrinkles and the varicose veins and stuff like that?
Are they strong? Maybe.
Maybe
like they're powerful.
I don't know.
Is that what he
man.
means by good?
But in seriousness, like Fable 4, he's talked about it, but do you remember what he said?
Yeah, basically, he was in an interview and someone brought up Fable 4 because we know the studio. Who made Fable? You always know them because
Lionhead Studios.
Lionhead Studios.
Yeah.
Lionhead Studios. You said they're out, right? They're no longer associated with Fable 4.
Peter Molyneux, something like that. Yeah, he's not on it anymore.
Yeah, he's not there anymore. So that I think is what largely made Fable 4 never see the light of day, because I just think the studio was just no longer there.
Yeah.
But Microsoft still owned the IP, and so I think they did an interesting move here, and they just gave the IP to one of their studios to make, even though it's not Lionhead.
To Playground, right?
And they gave it to Playground Games, and Playground Games is the one who makes the Horizon series, the Forza Horizon series. Not the Forza Motorsport series, but the Forza Horizon.
Right.
Like Horizon 5 coming out this year, which was announced at the Bethesda Xbox Showcase. So the one thing we can take from hearing that, of course, Phil Spencer was saying, it's in good hands because he believes in that studio.
Right.
Playground Games, he believes in that studio. And so he's like, don't worry, the game's in good hands, because the guy who was asking him, how's it going? It's going to be great because it's in great hands. Is basically all he said. Just let us know it's Playground Games making it.
Yeah.
And we did learn that it's going to be using the Forza Motorsport engine, which that's cool because that's
it looks
a pretty
beautiful.
engine.
It looks like a great world that they do. The Forza games in. They make hella realistic cars.
Really
like
pretty.
So, I mean, if they're trying to go with like a realistic point of view with Fable instead of making it look cartoony or something like that, or like fake or something, then I feel like there's a lot of detail that can be put into these characters and how they look.
What did you think about some of these rumors? I remember I listed them off to you. You guys got to hear some of these rumors. So none of this is confirmed, okay? But so many rumors surround this game. Would any of these appeal to you? I'll say that. Would any of these ideas appeal to you? One, Fable 4 will be an MMO set in the Fable universe.
Okay.
There are going to be several changes made to the gameplay and core theme, so a different theme. Other leaks suggest the game may even involve time travel and could be set across multiple different planets. Do any of these rumors excite you, anger you, make you apprehensive, hopeful? What?
Okay, so as far as all of them are concerned, I think that they would all be great in their own way if added to the IP. So I'll explain to you why I would think each one is.
Okay.
So as far as it being an MMO, I think that it would be interesting to be in the Fable world and then have an MMO. The Fable world isn't too crazy different. So it's nothing really, it's nothing really elaborate or anything like that. So it'd be fairly simple. It would just have magic and and fighting and stuff like that. The only reason why it would be cool would be the items that you could get, because Fable had a lot of legendary items that you could pick up and to walk around with those things if they were one of ones. I've always wanted a game that would have tons of epic, like legendary items from the past, but one of ones. And the only way to acquire it is by doing something to that person who obtained it or something. So you could have a sword that was passed down from like 6 different people because they all got killed with it or something like that.
Interesting.
But never come across one, but that would be a cool aspect. I don't think
and
that
the multiplayer,
and the
friends.
multiplayer, and then possibly having something, on like a Fallout sense where you can build like a house and decorate your house or something like that, and then people are actually able to come by and see the trophies that you've acquired throughout your journey or whatever,
Right.
something like that would be cool. But I don't think it'll go there. I don't think that Fable is really that type of world that would do that. I don't think that that's
Yeah, how
there.
do you fit like a really fun, quirky campaign experience in an MMO?
Right. And
It's
then
hard to do that.
how do you change the world around you in an MMO?
Right.
In that sense.
Oh, how do you
It's
change?
always seemed fake.
That's a great point.
When they say like, "Oh, we need a hero, the last outrider to come into," but dude, there's 1,000 of us. There's 1,000,000,000 of us out here. It's mad of us. So this one of one shit, like, don't tell me that in the story if you got an MMO.
Because Fable is about changing the world around you and you changing too.
Right.
And how do you do that in an MMO?
Right. It's about you growing, and then your growth affects the world around you and all that stuff. So leads me to my second point, where you were saying about changing the core elements of the game. The elements of the game, are that you start off as like one person, and then you learn, and then you proceed, and then your journey shapes the way how the world sees you.
Mm-hmm.
So if they change not only like how the world sees you, but they change like how it affects the world in general, not just how people perceive you. That you can actually devastate areas, kind of like how, Fallout 3 was, where, you literally do nuke town, and blow the whole thing up or whatever. Like, if you can decimate a whole town, and kill it, and then you're deemed bad, and that town, there's nobody else in that town because you killed that whole town, and they got to slowly trickle people. They got to slowly trickle people in by lowering prices of houses, but maybe you can buy all the houses, and then you make a profit off of that town or something like that, or you can manipulate things to get people, purchase towns, different things like that. Like, I'm all for.
So you're saying more expand on the core mechanics rather than changing them completely.
Yeah, I would definitely say expanding on it more so than to change it. I feel like it had a good core mechanic in it.
Right.
But if you could widen that, then it would be better.
I see.
But if you're going to change it altogether, then I feel like it sounds like
it's
any
no
of the
longer
other
Fable,
games that's
right?
out there. Yeah, it's not.
It's no longer Fable anymore.
Because literally every Fable has had the same type of a storyline.
You're changing
to go with it.
It's very big on changing the world around you.
Right.
Whether it be in buying property, whether it be in, you decimating things, you becoming
Killing
evil
people,
and afraid
whatever.
of people are afraid of you. Whatever it is, you're impacting the world around you. That's what Fable is, right?
Right.
And it's a story. It's a fable.
Yeah. And then what was the last one you had said?
And then the last one was it might deal with time travel, and you could end up on multiple different planets.
Now, that aspect would be really cool because you just have a lot more area to venture. You know what I mean? It's not the Forest of Albion or whatever, or that world. It's other worlds as well. You know what I mean? That could lead to a lot of traveling, and that's one of the things that I always wished was more in the game. That's one of the games where I wished that there was so much more to explore in it. You know what I mean? Like Fallout, there's so much to explore. You won't even get to see everything that they've put into the game. Even Cyberpunk, there's so many alleys and streetways and stuff like that you might not ever go down. And there's shit down there. You might not think it, but there's stuff down there and you just haven't found it yet. But, if you were able to give me that with Fable, because I felt like with Fable, I've covered every inch of it.
Right.
And been able to see everything that Fable has to offer. But if you could fill in spaces with things that I've never seen, you know what I mean? And it's like, I play the game again on New Game Plus and I see some new shit.
Different planet.
Or something like that. Different planets.
The only thing I'll add to that is I agree. I think like if they can pull it off, it'd be cool. I worry that they might bite off more than they can chew with something like that. Instead of I think take it easy with the first delve back into Fable to get us excited about it again, and then maybe start to make these big sweeping changes, once you've proven that you can actually make a Fable game. So that would be my recommendation. However, I agree with you. If they could pull that off, that's sick. Yeah. That's dope. That would be really fun. I would love that.
Could you imagine almost like a 6 series DLC that just keeps adding planets to
Yeah,
it.
a new
And
planet
they're
to go
all
to.
available on Game Pass, so you don't have to buy anything if you
I just don't
want
want
it.
them to be like Destiny planets. I want them
No.
to be like cool, a lot of depth, big
Yeah.
place
Yeah,
to
but I'm
explore.
saying, like, if they just added like one storyline, but the storyline isn't done, it continues.
Right.
Almost like as if they did like what Telltale Games did, adding chapters.
Right.
But they're like big. You know what I mean? Big parts of the game where they're
Mhm.
giving you like each new edition is giving you like 6-7 hours of gameplay or something like that, because they gave you a new
Right.
planet that you're going on, and you're still on this journey.
Mhm.
And then and it finally finishes after like the 7th one or something like that. That'd be like fucking like an epic book.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Where you read a book
Yeah.
and you got six.
Yeah,
six
I agree
books, like,
100%.
that would be dope.
I'm not confident necessarily that they can pull that vision off.
Right.
But that's a dope vision.
Yeah.
It's a really cool vision.
But
It's exciting stuff.
To hear anything about Fable itself is just exciting. And then the fact that they called it Fable 4, and that it's not like Fable, like a rebranding or something like that, like a remake
True.
or anything like that. It's, it's continuing on. You know what I mean? Even though none of them have ever been a continuation with the same person.
Yeah, and just
know what I
letting
mean?
us know it's there. It exists still. It hasn't fallen by the
They're
wayside.
still talking
it's
about
real.
it. They're still making it.
It's literally being worked on right now by this studio.
Right.
And we know that they're releasing Horizon right now. So we know what they're working on. They're done with Horizon. We know that they're focused on a different game right now. And so that's good to know that it's Fable and that
Yeah.
this game will come out
For sure.
in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
It's
yeah,
cool.
Horizon is definitely about to be out.
it's about
like,
to launch
soon,
this year, in a
sometime
few
this year.
months.
Yeah, so and I'm sure they probably already had some of their team working on Fable,
already.
So
right, exactly.
I'm hoping that mid next year we see some footage of it finally.
That'd be dope.
I think those are the two that I'm really gonna be looking forward to is Fable and Harry Potter, the Hogwarts
Yeah.
Legacy. Those are the two that I'm really gonna be looking forward
Absolutely.
to hearing from.
Absolutely.
So I can see where they've gone. But all right, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again for listening. Also, if you are interested, the Patreon link is down below. So we accept any kind of donations. We got 3 tiers set up, 1, 3, and 5. We appreciate it. Also a link down there for shirts. We got these on here. You've seen the black one. I got the gray. You've seen the red one I had on last podcast. We also got a few other shirts on there. So if you'd like to be part of the Schmigiggins group, that is available on there. I'm gonna be getting mine soon. Yeah. Until next week, we'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
Peace.
See you.
Gotta throw marks in there.
I love you, me.